we move on. Really pleased with the guys to find a way to advance. It wasn't always the prettiest, but I thought on the night against a very experienced team in these games that the competing was certainly there. I thought strong start to the game and kind of let play get away from us with going too direct, and then a little bit of immaturity in the second half with just managing the game. But here we are after a victory, and me being a little critical. Shocker. Really happy for the guys. Good energy in the other room with what they put into tonight and being able to win it in regulation.
Pat, given that the goal came in the 94th minute or thereabouts, at that point, are you thinking, this game's going to extra time, and just how impressed were you that the team was able to dig something out there at the very end when I think the play had probably deteriorated just because guys were pretty gassed?
Yeah, I mean, you start to think about with, a couple minutes left what it looks like, after that final whistle and getting inventory with where guys are at physically. And, we had some ideas of who we wanted if we needed to get a goal and who we wanted if we needed to see the game out with a lead. So fatigue certainly set in, but I just thought the group that was out on the field was strong. And, it was kind of just observing if guys were fading in ways where we felt like, they couldn't have the intensity on both sides of the ball that you need. And I thought majority of the guys were still in a pretty good place. And then if we could just get to the, if it was to go into extra time, likely a couple changes, in that moment.
I don't know when this mic will come back around to me, so I'd just like to ask you, where in your evaluation process, how close did Obi get to dressing for this match? And is this the kind of injury that's going to keep him out going forward, or do you think another week can get him that much close? Are you optimistic he can play against Columbus?
I'm optimistic he can play against Columbus. It was close. And in the end, it was a situation where if he could play, believe me, he would be out there. This is one tough kid. And so he would have been starting if, we thought he could get through it, and if he thought he could get through it. Having him as an option on the bench was something we discussed, but, not much was going to change physically for what he could do starting the game or coming in late. So we felt at yesterday it was best to just try to shut him down for a couple days. If you put him in to this game and there's a setback, then maybe he's out for the remainder, and we just wanted to avoid that. So hopefully it was the right move in terms of having him get a couple extra days to now be ready to, push in a good way to be available for Columbus.
How tough is it to make that sub with Aaron coming out, knowing he's scored some pretty big goals for you guys? You don't know if you're going to need that extra time, but just can you walk us through that decision, just how tough that is to make that at the end of a game like that?
Yes and no. Look, we have people we believe in to come in and find us a goal. At that point, some of the information we got was there was some cramping in both legs, and he's on a yellow card. So it felt like it was the right move at that time. And look, Dom's been excellent. The only thing that held Dom back over the last couple weeks was the injury that he picked up in the Red Bull game. So he's been in good form, and at that stage, I'm thinking about 35 minutes of play left for Dom to come on and help us win a game. So, Aaron put in a good shift. There was some really good moments, and then moments where, the entirety of our group was playing on one touch too often, or forcing plays forward. And so we just wanted to try to slow the game down in certain moments, and maybe getting that information to Dom coming on the field could help us.
And then just with Matt being out and then Obi also, that's a lot on your center backs. Just lot of responsibility defensively. What did it mean for Ian and Yerson? They've been kind of the guys you've been able to lean on here. To see them combine on that goal, is there any added
Strange.
reward in that?
Not expected. There was nothing that we've prepared at any point ever that went Ian to Yerson goal. So it was nice to see them come up with a play. You know, I said it before the game to the guys. In these moments in the playoffs, strange things happen. You know, how you go after a game if you're down a goal, how you protect the lead, maybe guys being asked to do different things than they're accustomed to because it's, you know, win or you go home. So I'm just happy we found the goal, but I thought they defended really, really well today. And I think the three of them with the ball started strong, and then you could see there was moments of discomfort with just having played together or, you know, what we were asking of them. And, you know, it's good to look at this game to try to make some improvements for next weekend. But I thought the most important thing was them defending in a strong way, and the bonus was them finding a goal for us.
Pat, here in the back, you're usually pretty good at big picture thoughts. This season, all the work you've put into it, to be here now, to be 2 wins away from a championship, how meaningful is it to be in this spot, to know you're this close to achieving the ultimate goal now?
Yeah, these were the goals from the beginning of the year in terms of how can we play in front of our home fans. We knew what it was like last year being on the road and how challenging that was, and we've positioned ourselves to play at TQL for the remainder, you know, or for the entirety. And you can see where it can become an advantage when the games are tight, when, you know, you're not playing your best, which was certainly stretches tonight, and that energy makes a difference. And so that was one of our goals, and credit to the guys for positioning us to, you know, play the entirety of the playoffs in front of our home fans outside of that first series. So hopefully we can make the right improvements and have a strong week and you know, be sitting here next week this time with good feelings because of a win.
Pat, first and foremost, congratulations. When you're losing a defensive player of the year and one of the best defensive center midfielders in the game, one might think that a clean sheet might be asking for too much, but your group put it together. Can you speak about some of the guys who kind of stepped into those roles and stepped up tonight, and how impressed you were with their performances? Yeah,
one might not have seen Yuya and Ray and Alvis enough to understand that those guys were going to be ready. And, you know, with the way Ray and Alvis performed, I thought they were outstanding. You know, Yerson again in the middle, Ian. This was a back line that hadn't played together for quite some time. I think maybe the combinations happened once. We played a lot of different lineups, and we played a lot of different lineups because of injuries, suspensions, national team call-ups. And I think we've had this conversation a lot where, you know, how'd we go and win a game? It's because these guys are good pros and they know how to be a team player, and they know how to take their moments. And those guys that, you know, filled the holes of some important pieces tonight, you know, took their opportunity well and helped us win a game.
Earlier this week, you highlighted composure as being key to victory tonight. Given the almost lack of dramatics on the pitch in terms of extracurricular stuff, and then finding a goal late, do you feel like your group succeeded in keeping their composure and to your liking, I guess, is the bar I'm setting?
Yes and no. I think decision making can be better. You know, that's part of the composure that I talked about, and you know, and managing the game and not trying to do too much. I think there was stretches where we tried to do too much. Again, how you lose focus at times because of the opposition or a call that doesn't go your way, that stuff still has to improve. We can always be better in those moments, and there was some of that tonight. So again, we'll talk about those things, but if you want to be a championship team, you have to get all of these things right. There's each game that you advance, the margins for error smaller, and you have to be improving as you go through it. And I think there's some things that we can certainly improve on tonight to better position us next Saturday.
All right, we'll have two more on the Zoom, one from Charlie Boehm and then from Jeff Carlisle. Charlie, go ahead.
Hey, Pat, can you hear me?
I got you.
Hey, Pat, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead, Charlie.
Great, thank you. Congrats, Pat. I wanted to ask about Mosquera. I think you've spoken about his maturation process this year. If you could just provide some perspective on his value tonight. Obviously, the goal wasn't expected, but just the overall performance. And also, if you could speak to the debate about whether Murphy may have been offside on the play.
Yeah, with Yerson, I would say it's a mixed bag. I'm hard on him because he is and has the potential to be a top talent. And I think, when you talk about, the with and without the ball, how does he impact the game? There could have been better decision making with the ball. Without the ball, I thought he was really strong. Timing of his tackles, how he defended the box. I thought he, for the most part, controlled his emotions in a good way in those moments. Still a couple, things where, too much interaction with the opposition. We just, he's just got to think about playing the game. So I'd say a mixed bag, but in the end, he comes up with a big play for us, and we keep a clean sheet. So he deserves a lot of credit for that, especially being in the middle of our back line in an important game. As far as the offside, I honestly never saw it. So I've heard a couple people talk about the angle not looking great initially, but maybe there was somebody's foot that was keeping him in an outside position. But honestly, I can't give you a real answer if we got fortunate or if it was the right call.
And last one, we'll go to Jeff Carlisle, please.
Thanks. Pat, obviously, and apologies if this has been covered already, but obviously you're playing your in-state rivals for a chance to go to MLS Cup. Is that something you embrace? Do you try to tune it out? I mean, how much adrenaline does that add to what's already a big occasion?
I hope we embrace it. It's certainly going to have some nice storylines attached to it, but it's a very good team. And, we split the season series, but they're in very good form and will be a very tough opponent for us. So I hope our guys embrace just another playoff game in front of our home fans. Now you add in the rivalry. So, I'm looking forward to the preparation phase of this, and then, being out here again next weekend and seeing us square off. I think it's, it's two good teams that are, going to compete in a really good way, and it'll be an entertaining game.
Thank you very much for your time, Pat.
All right. Thank you.